Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Kevin Summers, and this is the Strong Mind, Strong Body podcast. Now, have you ever started something like a diet and told a close friend you're like a week into it or I'm 2 days into it, and you're just kind of announcing what it is? That pulls me into the topic I want to talk about this week. We got to stop counting the days and redefine ourselves. You see, why do people feel the need to announce, I'm on day 4 of not smoking? What's the goal here? Are you trying to prove that you've made it a few days before you revert back? Because what happens when you mess up? You back to day 1, right? That's the problem. You're focused on the wrong things. You see, it's like, hey, I'm 14 days into this. Are you looking for a trophy that you've made it 14 days this time? And next time you tell me that you're made it 21 days, you made it 7 days further than the last one, that you want that celebrated? I know I have done that before. It's like, I'm on day this, like a super popular thing right now is 75 Hard. It's a phenomenal program, but so many people fall off. It's like, I'm on day this. And it's like, it's one of those things that I feel that you need to just do the work and shut up about, I'm on this day. It's just, it's that thing that you guys see floating around that says, work in silence, you get the reward afterwards. So I know I'm butchering it, but you get it, right? If you're serious about change, you need to stop counting days and start redefining who you are. This isn't about surviving a streak. It's about becoming a completely different person. Follow me here. This is why counting days or, saying you're on week 1, week 2, day 3, day 4, or whatever it is it's keeping you tied to that old identity. It's who you are, right? Let's take smoking as an example, right? Saying day 12 of not smoking means you still identify as a smoker, right? You're still identifying as a smoker who's trying not to smoke. You're basically telling yourself that you're one slip up away from being that person again. I feel it is setting you up for failure. What happens if you break the streak? Now you're back at day 1, feeling like a failure, right? And that's not a good place to be. That's a super deep, dark place to be for a lot of people, because failure sucks, right? When you hear all the thing, if you're not failing, you're not trying. Like, I get it. Trust me, I'm there, right? I make mistakes every single day, but there's things that we say and we do, especially when we're trying to make these life changes of a nutrition plan or a diet or a weight loss plan or the gym or trying to quit smoking, trying to quit drinking, trying to quit all these things that just we're identifying as, I'm on day 3 and I'm on day this. It's like, I'm an alcoholic, or, I'm a fat person trying to get on a diet and I'm trying this diet, I'm trying that. And you're not really redefining who you are. You're not becoming the person that you need to become in order to accomplish the goals. You're completely measuring the whole process wrong, right? It becomes about survival instead of a transformation. if you're counting days, you're just white knuckling your way through. And that is just not sustainable. You know that, and I know that. I mean, dude, how many times have we said we're on a New Year's resolution? And how many times did it not work? Or did you fail? How many times have we, I'm 3 days into my diet, and for some reason the freaking neighbor decided that I don't even know, decided to bake me a freaking cake and bring it over. I fell off my diet. I mean, if any of y'all have ever tried to diet, shit comes out of the woodwork and you're like, somebody you haven't even talked to or whatever, dude, let's go get lunch. Let's go have pizza. Let's go have that. And you're just like, dude, I just started a diet. Where were you like 4 days ago, homie? Like, you're literally knocking on my door with a sweet potato pie. Like, what is going on? That's how the universe works, because it just does, right? I mean, but let's get back on track. You see, let's use the New Year's resolution example, okay? It's really a perfect example. Think about how many people start up the new year with resolutions. This is my year, and then by February, all of a sudden you're 2 months into a 12-month year, and it's not your year. Help me understand that, right? Leave a comment. Help me understand the math, because the math does not math in my brain with that, right? You're a month in, you fail, and all of a sudden, this isn't my year. Or it's not working for you. Have you really given it a shot? Right? You're trying to change your habits without changing your identity. We treat it like a temporary phase instead of a permanent shift. If you're trying to get in shape for the new year, you're setting yourself up to fail. But here's the thing. But if you decide the first of the year that I am a fit person, you may not resemble in your brain what a fit person is, but you'd be damned if you didn't act like a fit person. And what does a fit person do? A fit person sets their alarm and they get up in the morning and they go to the gym. A fit person wakes up, they do their schedule, they go to work, they get in some walking. A fit person eats healthy, makes healthier choices. A fit person knows that some days aren't perfect and the next day they're right back on it. A fit person does certain things that most of us don't do. So we need to start identifying what does that look like and become that person. We've got to stop telling everybody these goals. I get it. You got to have a support system. It's like, dude, how long have you had this support system that you've been saying that you're going to get on track? You're going to do this, you're going to do that. And how has that support system worked for you? It doesn't really sound like a support system now, does it? Because if you're constantly in this same spot and in this just crazy ass, just repeating the same thing over and over and over again, I got to tell my friend because they're going to push me. Listen, there's one thing I know, and I don't know a lot, but I know one thing very well, is these friends, they don't really support the journey. They don't, but here's the thing. That's okay, because they don't understand why you are on that journey. No matter, I always talk to my boy, I always talk to my girl, they know me. No. I don't know what is going on in your head at night when you're wanting to raid the pantry. I do not know deep down inside. It's summer's coming up. It's first day of spring today. Summer's coming up. We want to get that beach body, right? You got to look jacked and tan. That's why you want to do it, right? Or do you want to do it because you're sick and tired of feeling like a fat, lazy slob? Or are you sick and tired of not looking the way you want to look? Or are you sick and tired of the shit fitting tight in your closet and constantly looking for something that feels loose? Are you sick and tired of feeling uncomfortable in your own goddamn skin? That's the stuff you're usually not discussing with your support group or your friends. Am I right? Or am I right? Because I did the same bullshit. Summer's coming up. I want to look. No, I'm fat and I feel like shit. And I'm tired of looking this way. But we don't verbalize that, right? Because there's this mental block of, I don't want them to know I feel this way, so I'm going to kind of brush it off a little bit. Hey, maybe some of y'all are a lot better at telling people your feelings. But here's the thing. Just because you tell me your feelings does not mean I understand it. Does not mean I'm going to support it. Because there is nothing I can do to support you to get your ass out of bed in the morning, day in and day out. And this isn't a 4 a.m. club speech, okay? This is, if you're gonna set your alarm for 7 o'clock in the morning, then get up at 7. It's not me that's gonna get you up, because if you're gonna rely on me to get you there, you're not gonna survive it. You're going to fail again and again and again. That's not on me, homie. That's on you, because you have to want it so freaking bad that nothing is going to hold you back. Are you going to make mistakes? Bet your ass you will. But you know what's awesome about those mistakes? You're like, you know what? Maybe I need to start turning it down a little bit sooner before bed, so I'm not so wired and I get a little bit more sleep. You know what? The alarm clock is legit like right next to my bed, and I just kind of hit the snooze button. Maybe I need to move it across the room and put it on the dresser. It's making those mistakes are great because it's teaching you how to overcome it. And listen, you got the Jockos, the David Goggins, it's just like, man up, fucking handle your shit. And it's like, there's things you gotta do and you gotta fail at to learn like, yeah, it's, I gotta adjust some things because what I'm currently doing now isn't working. And that's the thing, right? Let's dive down that sucker, right? You want to make a change, but we're still doing the same shit we've done before, but we're just changing one or two things. And listen, if you'd follow my stuff, you look at my gram, you've been listening to the pod for a while, I'm all about making small changes makes the biggest improvement. I'm all about that. But you can't be doing the same shit day in and day out and expect to change by tweaking a couple things here and there. You can't, want to get out of negativity and still hanging around with your boys and your friends and your girls and all that just talk shit all the time. You have to disconnect from that scenario. You want to be a better athlete, you need to hang out with athletes. You want to be in better shape, you need to hang out with fit people. You want to be smarter, you hang out with smarter people. Period. Done and done. It's as simple as that. You become the average of the people around you. And if you are around people that is constantly bringing you down, you are around people that are constantly, hey, you did good the past couple of days. This cookie won't hurt you. This won't, and they're not sabotaging you on purpose. They do care about you. They're probably very close to you and they are your loved ones. But they don't understand your journey. They don't understand who you want to be as much as you verbalize it. as much as it comes across. The conviction in your soul is what they don't get. They don't understand because they can't feel it. Because I know, I've been there. I get it. I've had to leave rooms, and you can digest that in any way, shape, or form you want. I've had to leave rooms full of people that are near and dear to me to become a different person. The person who I want to be, who I believe I can become. That is all super important along this journey, because you're the only one that knows truly what you want to get out of this. You see, you've got to reframe it, redefine your identity. You're not, let's go back to the smoking thing, right? You're not quitting smoking, you're becoming a non-smoker. Big difference between I'm trying not to smoke and I don't smoke. One is effort, the other is identity. You're on a diet. You're not on a diet. You're someone who eats healthy. Dieting is temporary. Eating well is who you are. Identity shift is permanent. When you see change, how you see yourself. You don't need motivation. It's automatic because it is who you are. You do get up in the morning. You do work out in the morning before the world opens up. I don't need motivation to work out. It's a part of who I am. It is my routine. You see, when motivation fades, your habits and your routine is what is going to have you continue to push through day in and day out. It is super, super important. You see, when I was over 300 pounds, right? I did everything underneath the sun, dude. I mean, we're talking late 90s. Yeah, late 90s, right? And everything was available, right? I'm trying all the fat burners. It's crazy. You look at this fat burner and you're like, oh, regardless of the bullshit that none of us knows what's inside of it, as much as you can try to Google it or chat GPT it these days, right? But you look at it and let's be real. Why are you buying that fat burner? Because you want to look like the guy or the girl on the front of it, right? You want to look jacked and tan like the dude, or you want to look like the smoke show of the female on there, right? Period. You're like, oh, if I take these, I'll look like them. Dude, I took so much stuff, right? And I even tried the whole fin when it was legal and all that. And yeah, it all worked for 5, 10, 15 pounds. And it would come back 10, 15, 20, 25 pounds, It's because I looked for that quick fix. I didn't change my identity of who I was. I was fat. I was obese. I felt like shit. And all I tried to do is diet, right? Oh, the less I eat, the less I'll weigh. Well, math, but you're going to feel like shit, and guess what? You're going to raid the pantry. You're going to raid the refrigerator. You're going to go by Baskin Robbins and be like, yeah, I'll take 4 scoops, homie. Layer it on, some chocolate sauce, throw some peanut butter on there. Let's call it a day. For the longest time, I never became that identity, right? And it's when I started being like, you know what? No, whether this works or not, I'm going to wake up every single day and I'm going to do 30 minutes of movement. Just 30 minutes of movement as soon as I get up. Then you hear all this shit. You got to have breakfast. You got to have this. You got to have your 47-step morning routine. You got to do this. It's like, no, I need to get my ass out of the bed. And the first thing I need to do in the morning is I need to get movement in. Pretty simple. Fuck, it was hard though. 2 days in, I'm like, okay, second day, first day I wake up, I'm amped out of my mind. Okay, we're going to do this. Second day, I'm like, okay. Third day, I'm like, this is getting old. Fourth day, I'm like, okay. Fifth day, maybe a little bit of energy. Sixth day, I'm like, day off. I'd like to sleep in. I'm like, no, you know what? No, it's just 30 minutes, right? I'm just going to do the 30 minutes. I'll go back to bed. But then that snowballed into, okay, you know what? I'm already up. I should make my breakfast. And just, I started doing the things of what that person was. And what I started to think about was, I'm like, all right, when, not if, when I get in shape, and 15 years ago, God knows what that meant, right? But when I get in shape, what does that look like? What am I going to look like? What am I going to do? How's it going to feel? And I just started doing it. Yeah, I was walking around feeling like I was in shape in a 3X shirt. Yeah, I was walking around feeling like I'm in shape, get my 30-minute workout in the morning in a 44-inch waist. But when I looked in the mirror, I knew on the other side of this, I was going to become that person. And you know what the most incredible thing about this whole thing is? After I lost my weight, that didn't define me. Then I was like, oh, we did it. But the goalpost, they moved. And I was like, okay. Now I want to get in the gym, get a little bit jacked up, right? One thing led to another. Then I realized, kind of like doing cardio, got on the bike, and that's led into a long 12-year high-level racing career. But if I didn't define who I was when I was fat and start to become, even when I was fat, it's like, I hear it all the time. I will go to the gym when I lose a few pounds. I will go to the gym, or I'll start walking when I lose a few pounds. How stupid does that sound? But yet we've all said it. I will do X when I do this. I was the most introverted person. Dude, like, when you're 300 pounds and you're literally walking around in August with a fucking jacket on because you feel like it's a security blanket because you're so embarrassed about how your body looked. And this isn't no body positivity. I don't give a shit who you are, how much weight you got. If you're fat and overweight, you feel like shit as much as you try to sugarcoat it. And God did I, man. And you try to hide it. Big old baggy jeans, big old baggy jackets. But then I redefined myself. What does this person look like? What does this person do? It was cool though. As I was going along that journey and making mistakes, but getting right back on it, that 44-inch waist became a 40. That 3X felt super loose. It was pretty cool the day that it came, and I'm like, fuck, man, I need some clothes, right? And the medium shirt and the 30-inch waist was a reality. That was a byproduct. I didn't even think about that. I literally just wanted to be able to feel comfortable. But to my boys, my homies, and everybody, I just want to lose a little bit of weight and feel a little bit better, right? Try to hide it. Want to get jacked up a little bit. But then that led into the whole cycling career thing. And that has been incredible in itself, right? Because you start looking at it, and you start getting competitive. For those of you that are athletes or compete in any sport out there, you are an athlete. And it's, John Wooden said it best, right? If you have a body, you're an athlete. And if you treat it that way, how are you going to treat it, right? Or like the one where your body is a sports car, what kind of fuel are you going to put in it, right? And yeah, I did a post on Instagram that if your diet says you can't have pizza, then fuck your diet. And I'm straight up with that. But you're not a pizza eating machine, right? But what's interesting is what I went through on my weight loss translated into the way I competed. Because when I started competing, I sucked. I mean, I was doing this stuff. I was shot off the back. I was pulled from races because I'm too slow. I was too this, and whatever, some of y'all start racing and you're at the top tier, but a lot of you just stay there. And that's amazing, right? Hey, you're good with it, whatever. But I had to work and work and work. But then I'm like, what's cool about this is I'm lining up against I'm at the time, I'm doing some of the events that some of the most highly decorated people are doing. I wonder what they're doing. And I took that framework from being overweight and applied it to my sport. Oh, so they get up and get it done no matter what. I wasn't doing that, right? I was still sticking to, wanting to be healthy and in shape. I was still doing that side of things. But when it came to this over here, I'm like, oh, well, you know what? Yeah, I'm getting up, getting my movement, but I'm like, I'm not getting up and getting out there in the rain. They're doing it in the rain. I probably should do it in the rain, right? No event's going to be perfect, right? Oh, they're doing this type of nutrition on the bike. I'm going to give that a shot, right? Oh, they're going for those kind of rides. They're doing these kind of things. They're doing these kind of events. And slowly over time, I just started telling myself, you are an athlete. You are an athlete. You are an athlete. You belong here. You belong here. What does it look like to be competing at a top level? What do those people do? And I started implementing the things I did to lose the weight on the sports side of things. And dude, I can't tell you how quick it just started clicking. And it started clicking real quick. And I know a lot of you just grabbed that word quick is because every single day I showed up and I did the work. Every single day when I was losing my weight, I showed up and did the work. If I only could give 30% that day and I gave all 30, I was winning. Same thing over here. You see, it's not willpower anymore. And you're going to have days where you're just like, I just got to push through it, man. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this. And that's where your process, right? And your habits are going to get you through that way. Is going to get you through it, and it's no more willpower. It's just what I do, right? It's how I react. It's who I am. You see, you've got to stop counting down the days or saying I'm on a diet or I'm on this. No, you're choosing to be healthy. You're choosing to work out. You're choosing to be a better coworker. You're choosing to be a better business owner. You have to make these choices. I heard a term a few years back, the greatest artists in the world copy. And everybody's like, oh, no, I don't want to be. I'm like, no. There's people out there that you want to be. And I'm not, how to say this right? Just hear me on this, please. Okay, just open your mind up. Don't close it, just open your mind up. There's people out there in positions, doing things, achieving things, looking the way you want to look. Mimic them. Don't put them on a pedestal. That is not what I'm saying, please. But there's people out there that you're just like, gosh, man, if I could just do X, Y, and Z, I could be like them. But what do you think they do? What do you think they're doing day in and day out. And you know what's incredible? The most successful people in the world, if you literally reach out to them, be like, dude, how do you do this? They'll tell you, because the most successful people out there want you to succeed, because the universe will pay it tenfold back to them. And the stuff we learn, we want to share, because we've been where you're at. We've had the dark, dark conversations that you only have in your brain. We've had the thoughts. We've thought the things. We've done the things. Some days you just want to burn the fucker down. And I get it. But we share so you can grow, and maybe grab a nugget and just maybe be like, if I just change this, it'll get you on the right track. And maybe it's just that one push. Maybe I said something that's just like, I got it. That makes sense. Maybe it's just one thing, and that is everything, right? So stop counting your days. Stop treating it like a temporary fix. Redefine who you are and become that person. If this resonated with you at all, share it with someone, please. That's how we grow. Share it with someone that needs to hear it. And if you've been stuck counting days, it's time to stop and step into the person who you really, really are. Friends, if you like what you hear, if you like what we're doing here, follow along on Instagram. I'm super interactive over there. I love the community over there. Y'all are freaking, I love y'all, man. You're freaking awesome. Follow on Instagram, Real Kevin Summers. I'll leave you with this. Rising tides raises all ships. Your attitude, your actions can make a positive impact in somebody's life. Look to lift others up, and the universe will lift you up. We'll talk to you next time.